important I want to share with you as you are sitting in a cave. You see, the best temperature here is stable. Okay, it does not change, 29 Celsius. And this is not human made, this is natural. Okay, it's not human dug. It's limestone, absorbs the water, and with time and years makes cracks and holes and then ends into a cave. But I want to read about the birth of Christ, of Jesus, from Luke chapter 2 and comment a little bit about it, because the Bible doesn't mention that Jesus was born in a cave. Okay? I will explain it to you. I've been to Christian houses in Bethlehem until today. They live in their house and the basement until today, where they keep their animals, where they keep some sheep, some hens, some chicken. They grow a little bit of apricots, a little bit of stuff for food. So I would imagine in the first century, people living on the mountain hill of Bethlehem, and the basement is the cave where you would store your food, keep your animals. In the Bible it says there was no room in the inn. Now, inn is a translation from the Greek kataluma, which means a guest chamber. Remember how we've been in Capernaum and we saw how people live? So there would be one room for the guests. So there was no room in the guest chamber. So what's the best place? Most private place? The cave. All right? So we will think about it's not clean, all right, with the animals. But again, from this cave, from this area, everyone has a cave in his life, something hidden, something nobody knows about, full of animals, bad stuff. I try to clean it, but it comes dirty very quick. Even my wife doesn't know about it. Something hidden, something secret. But the moment I ask God to come to this cave, He'll be able to clean it. He'll be able to change my life. I'm sure He's changed your life, because He changed history. All right, coming here to Bethlehem, born in a cave, and He was able to change history. So He can change our lives. So the birth of Jesus, I'm read from Luke chapter 2 and starting verse 4. So Joseph also went from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea, to Bethlehem, the town of David, because he belonged to the house and line of David. By the way, they found a well, you know, a cistern, a well. And from the pottery there they found that this goes back to the time of King David. King David, before he became a king, he was a shepherd boy in Bethlehem here. Before he came to Jerusalem and became a king, he was a shepherd living in Bethlehem. So if the well, let's say, is 20 meters deep, the well that they found is only 12 meters deep. Why? Because at that time they didn't have baskets of plastic to throw in and get the water. They have pottery, and pottery is very heavy, and you attach it with a rope. So you drop it in the well, and when it's full, it's even heavier to drag it. So with time, the rope gets weaker and weaker, and at one point, the jar goes down and breaks. Then you bring another jar. So by this, they were able to date, and they found that layers of pottery that goes back to the time of King David, even back to the first century, the time of Joseph and Mary. So we are sure that this is the place where it happened. We are sure where is the village, somewhere in this area. He went there to register with Mary, who was pledged to be married to him and was expecting a child. Now at a Roman census, you have to go back to the place of your origin. So we know both Joseph and Mary were from Bethlehem. So, and in a census, Roman census, only men are counted. Children and women are not counted. You are counted to pay taxes, okay? Serve in the army, though the Jews don't serve in the army, but to pay taxes. But why is Mary with him? She should not be with him. Again, Mary is now just about to give birth, and it's not easy for her to travel. But she would say, wherever you go, I'm going to follow you. Don't leave me alone. Because it was not an easy decision. Everybody is talking about Mary in the village. So she had to go with Joseph and follow him. While they were there, the time came for the baby to be born, and she gave birth to her firstborn, a son. She wrapped him in clothes and placed him in a manger, because there was no guest room available for them. You know that the baby, the human baby, is the weakest. It's very feeble, it's very weak. If you leave him alone, he'll die. You have to take care of him. And really, to wrap him with clothes, he feels safe. It's not like any other creature or an animal. The moment he's born, he stands up and starts to eat. No, imagine this. God, the Creator, he's so weak, you know, as a baby, to show us his love. And Mary and Joseph to take care of him. So this was the story of the birth of Jesus Christ in a cave in Bethlehem. Bethlehem of Ephrata, very small place, nobody knows about, in the mountains of Judea. But again, little with God is much. God made it so much important. His ways are different than our ways. He used Mary, little young girl. He used the shepherds, normal people, okay? And he used, you know, to be born in a cave to come to enter our world. But again, this is Christmas. This is salvation. This is joy. All right? We should be thankful for his love to us. Amen?
Amen.
Good. Welcome to the Church of the Nativity, the most ancient church in the country, or even in the whole world. What you see down is the original church, the 5th century. You see the fine mosaics.
Yeah.
Okay. If you look at the shape of the church, it is cross shaped. You see one center in the middle. Then you see the columns. It's all one piece. And you see the capital. It's a small capital. The real one is down under. Remember, the church was not destroyed. It was burnt. There was a revolt. And the Samaritans. So comes later, in the 6th century, another king. Of course, you heard about Queen Helena and Constantine. Queen Helena had faith, had believed that Jesus was born in Bethlehem. So this is one of the first churches she builds in the country. Yeah. But when Jesus was born, still no followers for Jesus. It's not like when he's on the cross, people can see him. All right, so somewhere in this area, somewhere in these caves, you will see the birthplace of Christ. And what do you expect to see in the cave? You see a 14-pointed star. You have to know everything original is covered. You don't see the manger, for example. All right? It's somewhere in Rome, in a church. But we know the location or the place where it's believed he was born. So the church is built on top of the cave, on top of the place where he was born. And in church theology, if you look at the church, in your mind, if you flip it upside down, it would look like a big ark, Noah's ark. Remember the flood? If you come to the ship, to the boat, you are saved. The same concept. When you come to the church, you are saved. So there are 3 main churches here. We have the Greek Orthodox, Next to them is the Armenians, and then the Roman Catholic. So once we move from the old to the new, you will see the difference. You'll see the Roman Catholic Parish of Bethlehem, St. Catherine Church, where midnight mass takes place and broadcasted to all over the world. Very important church. In the Middle Ages, we have here Saint Jerome. Saint Jerome spent the last part of his life in these caves, and he translated the Bible, the Old Testament, from Hebrew to Latin, and the New Testament from Greek to Latin, the Vulgata translation that we read about. And this is his burial place, but again we don't see his tomb because it's somewhere in Rome, in the church in Rome. And we're going to celebrate our Mass in the chapel of Saint Jerome.
Into your hands the things I